Hey guys. Hey. We got Malibu up here this morning. I'll move her in a minute. Hi, Angie, Missy, Debbie, Laverne. How y'all doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Scoot my chair up a little here. Hi, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society. Who else am I missing? Let's see. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Hi, Arlene. How you doing? Hi, Riri. Hi, Linda Renz. I tried, yeah, Malibu. Yeah, Debbie. Yeah, I hope y'all had a good weekend. Terry Brett, always reminds me, pull out that prompt bowl. Hi, Janet. Pamela Kane. Kat, hi, Kat. Thanks for being here. I do try to say good morning to everybody first thing. When the chat gets rolling, make sure you put it in caps so I see you. And yeah, put it in caps. And then, and if I miss you, I will try to catch you. You know, I watch the scrub through the chat on after the show or the next day. So I try to catch everybody, but I know I miss people, especially when we get, 100 people in here. It's hard to keep up. Princess Jilly. Hi, Princess Jilly. Seems like you're familiar, but I'm not recognizing you right at the moment. Thanks for being here. Let's see who else. Now you're going to settle in. You're going to settle in. I'm going to have to move you down to your little nest. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time. Okay. You're not, let's see, Princess Jilly, you're not the Jilly that was like 13 years old. Jilly, are you Jilly Bean? Like you were 13 when we first met you? Are you that same Jilly Bean? Oh my gosh, are you for real? You're the same age as Cameron, if that's the case. I think you were 13 when you first came on and we first met you. If you're the same Jilly Bean, let me know. Let's see. Fritchie. You're shaking my camera, Malibu. Kristen. Oh, you're 40. Okay, you're not the same Jilly Bean. Okay. I don't know if any of y'all remember Jilly Bean. If you're out there, Jilly Bean, she started streaming when she was like 13 and doing craft shows. And we were all so supportive of her. And I think they moved and she changed schools. And I think she just had to leave because of school and everything. So, but if you're out there, Jilly, hello. But hello, Princess Jilly, welcome. And I'll go check out your channel later. Do you make videos? I mean, do you have a channel where you make art or crafts? Hi, Tina. Thank you, Tina. Let's see. Cindy, good morning. Okay, she's gonna go down now. There we go. All right. Thanks, Tina. Tina's birthday is it Thursday, Tina, the 21st? Tina's birthday, I think, is the 21st. Today is Mary Autier's birthday. So if y'all happen to come across Mary, today's Mary's birthday. Let me see if I can adjust this a little better here. Well, I'm going to zoom in some, so let's go ahead and do that. Zoom in one here and readjust the light now that Malibu's gone. Hi, Miriam. Let's see. I had to put in my room. Oh, yeah. Well, she lays down on her little nest down here. She has a little bed I make her for when she's in here with me. Let's see. Hi, Angie. Who else am I missing? Thanks everybody for being here. I got a whole stack of new color books and art magazines. Yay! Y'all know I love showing y'all new magazines and color books. And I did post one picture out of the color book that I've been working on. And let me move this over here to the side. Hang on. Out of my way. Let's see. There we go. All right. Trying not to get in my lap, but trying to get the whole screen here. Got my little table here Denise gave me, which is so handy for stuff I'm using at the moment. It's really handy. I love having it there. All right, let's see. Tina, yeah, Arlene, exactly. Laying on Tina. That's his nest. Oh my goodness. Let me. I'm not going to call them out yet, but I'll pull the prompts here. So I did. Let me pull this, and this is one of the new color books that I got that I hadn't shown y'all yet. Is this one, Fairyland, and okay, this needs to come up a little. Let's see here. Hang on, guys. There we go. Fairyland. This is the new one of the new books. It's got quite a few pages in it. It's unusually bound. That's just kind of odd to bound it like that. I've not seen this before. I came across, I think it was an Amazon recommendation or something. Tina. And so I've done one page which I posted on IG, and then I'll show you that one. And then in a minute, I'll show you the one that I'm almost done with. This is the one I posted on Instagram. And it's this kind of paper. It's thin, copy paper thin, but it's got the black backing on it. So, yeah. So I finished this one, and I posted that one. Thanks, Tina. It was fun. It was fun to do this. I hadn't done one like this in a while, like, the fairy tale type things. So, so I did this one and one more that I'm working on, but I'm not going to show you yet. But it's a very cool book. It's got lots of fairy tale houses, and I did go through with my green marker. I'm using the water-based Ohuhu water-based, these water-based Ohuhus. And so I went through the book and just did a bunch of green just throughout. I've done this before in some other books, and just went through and picked out the, one of the greens on different pages. Like, here we go. See, so I started them, and yeah. Yeah, share your good news. Go ahead, Angie. If you have good news, go ahead. And so anyway, yeah, I did post this. Trying to get the color to be, it's pretty good. It's pretty accurate. Maybe just a little, it's pretty good. It looks a little darker here in person, but I have my bright light over here, so that might have something to do with it. Let's see. So, yeah, it was fun. Let's see. Who else am I missing? I said hi to Barbara. Tina says she's really loving the mythographic dragon spell. I love the mythographic books, Tina, but it's so tiny. They're so tiny. Did you post it on Instagram, Tina? Where's my phone? Did you post the mythographic? I think I liked it. But I don't know if I noticed what book it was from. Let me see if my IG will load. We had internet issues all weekend. The cable never went out, but the internet fluctuated and was off and on for maybe an hour at a time, out an hour at a time. Let's see, So let's see. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so here's one that Tina did. Well, let's see if I can bring it in. So there's her face right there. There you go. So very nice, Tina. I did like it, but I didn't notice what book it was from. So if y'all don't follow Tina, she's Cata Comic 64. I don't know why they started putting these little faces here. Like here, Deb E liked it. So now I see Debbie's face. I don't know why they do that. I guess they want you to go click on Debbie. That's something new, I think. which, I don't mind seeing Debbie's face. It's weird that they're putting it on Tina's thing. So very nice, Tina. Um, so let's see. Yeah, it's just some of them are small. Is in the mythographic line of color books, Let me get a sip of my lemon water here. There's Kat put the link to this book in. Let's see. Thanks, Deb E. Scrolling. My last picture of the girl. Is that the one, Tina? Yeah. Sorry, guys. Selling your bowls on Jacqueline's. Oh, okay. On Lovely Crafting. Kat, if you want to put in Jacqueline Lovely Crafting's channel. She doesn't go by Jacqueline on her channel name, but Angie's going to be selling her bowls in the middle of October. I have quite a few of her bowls. They all got stuff in them, but I'll try to show them to you here. So I use them for my bead bowls, so I can't really turn them. But Angie makes these cool bowls. Not this one. That's just the thing. So yeah. So you can see they're these. What do you call? I don't know what you call the center of those. The inside. She wraps the cording. The cording with the fabric and sews them. So yeah. So I use them for my bead bowls when I'm making my bracelets here. So yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. So if y'all like those kind of bowls, make sure you follow Jacqueline Lovely's Craft. She sells, I think, every Friday. Every Friday afternoon. Let's see now. Yeah. No, right? I hear you, Arlene. Let's see. Scrolling. Ellen got the glitter pins. I love glitter. I got glitter pins, the gel pins, if that's what you're talking about, Ellen. I think you're talking about gel pins. Hello, Wilcox, Mama. And you're making bigger bowls than that. Okay, Angie. Okay. Let's see. Scrolling. So anyway, yeah, Lovely's Crafting, I think is the name of Jacqueline's channel. And she, what you call it? She sells, I think, every Friday afternoon. Hi, Becky Hernandez. Let's see. Hi, me. Who else am I missing? Sorry, guys. I gotta take another sip of my lemon water. Get my voice crack-a-lacking here. Okay. Oh, sure. No problem, Angie. We love to promote each other here. I will do the bowl here in just a minute of prompts and read out of our Lollygag book. And then I've got a stack of color books and Somerset Studio. And I got one, y'all. Some of y'all are going to really like. Let's see. Where is it? Here. This one. Somerset Halloween. I know a lot of y'all really, I like Halloween to a point. I like the pumpkins. I do a collage pumpkin every year. I do my Inktober every October. I color in the Camilla Del Recco Cute and Creepy every October. Do I go dress up and go to Halloween parties? No. But anyway, we'll show that here in a minute too. Let's see. Scrolling. Hi, Jackie. Barbara singing. Barbara, you're so fun, Barbara. Oh my goodness. Hi, Kristen. Thanks, me. Yeah, I think I'm going to do Inktober poster. I'm going to do an Inktober poster like you've seen me do the Ink Farm, the Ink Forest, or the Ink, I don't know if it was called Forest, but it was Forest Creatures. and I did a farm poster, and I did Inktober, did all insects. I'm not going to pull it out right now. We'll wait till at least September. Start talking about Inktober. Let's see. So yeah. So remember, guys, put it in caps if you're talking to me when the chat starts rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Dun, 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 dun. Singing old Western songs. Alistair loves the old Westerns. Okay, Princess Jilly. Well, I got this is the new Somerset Studio Halloween. And I got some others here. I got a stack. Okay. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start by doing the prompts. Let me get a paper here. Don't forget, if y'all see Mary, it's today's her birthday, and Tina's is she didn't. I don't know. She probably answered. I missed it. Thursday, I think, is Tina's. Is our Tina's? Yes, Tina. You got it, Tina. A couple of y'all did. Okay, so today is the 18th. Can you believe it's already the middle of August? Oh, anyway. And we pick 5 prompts out of the bowl, and y'all just write them down. Keep them in your Society of Idea Collector notebook or wherever you keep your ideas, your sketchbook, your journals, whatever, and keep them so that you have ideas whenever you don't have ideas. All right, so I'm going to pick 5 off the top, and then I write them down and put them in my notebook as well. And if y'all do not follow Terry Brett, y'all need to, because Terry Brett on Instagram does the most amazing things with these 5 prompts. She's been adding some of the words from our lollygag book. I think we're up to H now. We're up to H. I know, Tina, right? Okay, Ellen, hang in there. Hang in there. Okay, here we go. Komodo dragon, disapproval, door, fancy hat, and the last one is sushi. So there we go. So we have Komodo dragon, disapproval, door, fancy hat, and sushi. There we go. So there's our 5 prompts for the week. There we go. And I know Terry goes, oh, interesting. So I'll put this in my book after a while. And now we're going to read a few of we don't read them all, but I read a few. So Cheshire Cat got us this book. L is for lollygag, quirky words for a clever tongue. And Terry Brett's been using a couple of these out of the book to add to the prompts when she does them. It's so good, too. She does so good with these. All right, let's see. We can brighten this back up a little. Let's see. I know, right, Kristen? She does. Let's see. Hi, Flo. Good to see you. I don't see where you are, but I see people saying hi, Flo. So she's here somewhere. Where'd she go? I don't see her. Where'd Flo go? I don't know. I see people. Oh, there she is. Hello. I never clicked. That's why I didn't see it. Good to see you, Flo. I just like saying hi, Flo. Okay. So let's see. We're in H. Haberdasher. Someone that sells men's clothing and accessories. After stopping by the haberdashers, you might pop into the apothecary and visit the cobbler, the shoe repair. In the 18th century, a slang description for a school teacher was haberdasher of nouns and pronouns. Okay, let's see. Happenstance. A combination of words that happen and circumstance. This means something that occurs entirely due to chance. Happenstance. Let's see. Harbinger. A harbinger is a pioneer of change. If you hear the phrase harbinger of doom, it refers to someone whose presence foretells unpleasantness to come. Harbinger. Uh, let's see. Heave ho. A dismissal. You might give an unappealing boyfriend or girlfriend the old heave ho, which is to say you would end the relationship. It was originally a nautical expression, a command to sailors to pull on a rope. Heebie jeebies. Invented by Billy DeBeck, a famous cartoonist of the 1920s. This is a feeling of apprehension, somewhat like the jitters. It's always used in plural form, although perhaps a single heebie jeebie might be less worrisome. Uh, hang on. Hem and haw. That's kind of like dilly dally, I think. You're hemming and hawing whenever you cough and clear your this is interesting. I thought hem and haw was just like you kind of dilly dally. It's hem and haw is whenever you cough and clear your throat in order to buy time after being asked a question. That's interesting. I did not know that that's the whole definition of hem and haw. Hobgoblin, an especially naughty and bedeviling type of goblin. Hobgoblins have appeared in folk tales since the 16th century. Let's see. Hogwash. And yet another word for nonsense. See, balderdash, humbug, jabberwocky, malarkey. So that's hogwash. Let's see here. Hootenanny, a folk music concert, often with audience members participating. Horse feathers, rubbish, nonsense, not even worth thinking about. Hullabaloo. I'm reading a lot of them today. Terry's going to have a lot to pick from. A loud and annoying noise, oftentimes caused by a group of unruly children. See also ruckus. Humbug. Nonsense. In Charles Dickens' A Christmas Story, everyone's favorite curmudgeon Ebenezer Scrooge is fond of saying bah humbug to convey his disbelief or dislike of the cheerful celebration of Christmas. Humdinger, something that's quite extraordinary, usually preceded by an interjection like wow or gosh, as in wow, that pumpkin of yours is quite a humdinger. It sounds best when you draw out the first syllable. Humdinger. Okay, so we will stop at I there. So there's our lollygag. Our L is for lollygag, quirky words, and clever tongue for the clever tongue. There we go. So, all right, let me scroll back, see what we missed during the reading. Let's see. Let's see. Scrolling. I'm sure I'm missing people coming in. Thanks everybody for being here. Got all my happy mail sent out, even all my thank yous for the super chats and all that. I got prints sent out on Saturday, a ton of prints sent out on Saturday. I think I got about, I don't know, 10 or 15. So thanks to everybody that supports the channel. Oh, I will show you if y'all missed. I don't know if I showed that I finished. I don't know. Did I show that I finished this? Yeah, I showed I finished this one in Catitude. I posted this one. This is the one I wanted to show y'all. I posted this. I finished this one, and I posted on IG. And what I did is I used some collage, some of Porto's map papers, and I did the little mushroom bottoms and their little feet and their faces right here around their eyes. I put collage. So it's another mixed media. So yeah, I collaged around their eyes and their little toes and the bottoms of the mushrooms here. They're kind of hard to see, but I added a little bit extra in there. But so I added extra toenails. I didn't have those toenails. I added those toenails so you could really see see their little feet a little better. So I thought it was kind of fun. I might try to do more collage. I did another one over here with collage. This one, all these extra fish, I collaged on top of him. He's biting one. Stop. He's caught this one. Now this one's colored, but these other little ones here are collaged. Yes, I did do all the shading under the white dots of the I did shade under each white dot of the mushrooms. And thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Tina. So those are my newest ones in the Catitude. I don't know why my throat's kind of scratchy this morning. Okay, let's see. So we'll put that one down. All right. So Fairyland, I did post like I showed y'all. I posted this one. I posted this one. And let's see if we can grab the light again on Instagram. I try to post all my finished pages on Instagram. Sometimes I don't finish them right away. Might be a while, but and sometimes, hi View, how you doing, Boo? For me, Boo, I know it's like your friend and all that, but for me, since Boo was born, Boo's 23. So since for 23 years, I've called Samantha Boo. I think it was before the term Boo was, what it is today, because she was so tiny. So we called her a little Boo. And so Boo, when I think of Boo, I think of Samantha because she's so little. But anyway, it's cute. Thank you. Thank you, View. Coloring View has an awesome coloring channel. She does all kinds of supplies and chats, and she gets a little, you gotta take Boo with a grain of Boo. You gotta take View with a grain of salt sometimes, but I love our View. Let me click on her here. So I recommend she has 2 channels. I recommend going to this one. But y'all do you, Boo. Love you, View. Let's see. So I finished this one, and I'll do a little flip of it. It's Fairyland, and her name's not on the front, but it is right here. Anastasia. I looked for her on Instagram. I did not see her on Instagram. There's a lot of Anastasias, but I did not see her. So I don't know if she's new. Again, this is a new book to me. And you can see how it's bound. Look, it's kind of the folded bound. And that's new to me too. So anyway, I did this page. I'll show you. I did this page and post on Instagram. And the one I'm almost done with is this one. I still have some more to do on this one. Let's see. Keeps the black paper wants to fight the light there. So I'm getting close to finishing on this one. Maybe is this close enough when I don't know if I want to zoom in more. Let's see here. Is that better? Maybe that's better. Let's readjust the focus here. Is that better? Sometimes it gets too close, and then you lose quality. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm almost done with this. I'm going to go over the white with a pencil. Do I have it here? No, I thought I pulled one here. Where's my blue pencil? Did I put it back in the thing? So what I'm going to do is, with the blue rose, let's see, probably this one here, is I don't want, no, I do want the light teal color. I'm going to do with it. This color, I think. So I don't have this a bright white light there. I'm going to go over it and knock it back just a little. It'll still retain a brightness, but it won't be white, which nothing wrong with a white, nice bright white edge on some things. But most of the time I knock it back. So I still have some more shading to do on here. I have more shading to do on the roof. So I'm really liking this book, though. I'll show y'all some pictures in a minute, just a second. So this was done, this line of white was done with Posca around the edge. And I don't know if you can tell. Let me see. I'll do about half of it so you can see the difference. When it's still vibrant, but it's not bright white. Little trick there to keep a vibrant edge, but not be white. All right, see if you can see the difference between this top half and the white. See the bright white edge? But see up here where I've gone over it, and it's still vibrant. You can still see how vibrant it is, but it's not this bright. Can you see? Is that showing up for you guys? Oh, let's do this real middle here. Missed a couple spots right there. See the difference? Okay, let's see. Hi, Tina Sweden. Who else am I missing? Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. No, what? No, this is all pencil. I used all pencil. No pan pastel in this one, Kristen. I decided I was going to try to just do it all in pencil and my water-based Ohuhus. So it's water-based Ohuhus and pencil. The background is all pencil, and I'm not done with it. Same for this one. This is all pencil in the background here. That's all pencil. No marker. That's all pencil. Let's see. Trying to see if I missed anything. Thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate y'all being here. So, and it is thin. Look, see how you can kind of see the dents? It's thin paper, but you know, I put a card between. I put a piece of cardstock between it to, you know, so that when I'm doing any hard pressure, it doesn't dent this page, right? So, thanks, Kat. Kat put a link to this book. So yeah, let me just real quick finish going around the edge here since I have this pencil right in my hand. And then I'll show this book and the other ones. I did get a few Somerset Studios, including this Halloween one. We'll do a little flip of that. And so I haven't been to my Books a Million in, gosh, at least a week, which is maybe a week and a half. And I hadn't found anything at Hobby Lobby lately, but I still go. I try to go every Tuesday because I know some of the employees that work there, and I like to come in and just say hi and look around, see if there's anything on clearance. I don't, unless I need anything, like if I run out of varnish or, you know, something like that. But for the most part, I just really go in just to take, you know, get myself out of the house. I run my errands, go to the post office, go to the grocery store for our midweek. We usually go to we usually go to the grocery store 2 times a week. We go on Saturday together. We get out together, Hupster and I usually make a post office run on Saturday as well. But Tuesday is usually my main errand day. And Chick-fil-A, get a chicken biscuit, and Hobby Lobby and post office. Come home, usually watch Kathy Berg. I have quite the schedule. I'm not really out of the box and doing, you know, things like, you know, just, I'm not a spur of the moment kind of gal. Let's put it that way. Maybe in my younger days I used to be. Now I like to know my schedule. I like to know what's going on. I stay home a lot. I don't go a lot of places. Yeah, the Prismacolors. Yeah, they're called Prismacolor Premier. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, Tina. And at home, my studio's on the second floor, so I run up and down stairs all day long. I can't even tell you how many steps I put in my house without even going anywhere. I do. I get a lot of steps in on my actual stairs. So okay, I think that's good. So you can kind of see, you can still see how bright the white is, right? But it's not pure white. Okay, so there we go. So let's go ahead and continue a little flip. Again, the background here is all pencil. Uh, yeah, we don't want you out falling asleep while you're driving, Tina. Tina, has that ever happened? No, no, don't answer. Don't answer, Tina. You can message me and let me know. So I'll just do a quick flip here of this book. Well, let me flip it from the back. There's a lot in this book. It's quite the thick book. I don't even know how many pages are in here, but let me just kind of flip it this way so you can kind of see, because that way it holds off the light from flaring. See, there we go. That's better. Isn't it cool though? And it's got a combination. And here again, I went through the book and found just some different areas that I wanted mossy green and just went ahead and did the green. Not on all the greens, but on a few. I really love the art in this book. Anastasia Anemone. I'll show her name again here in a minute. Now I got lemon water hiccups from trying to keep my throat clear. Drinking lemon water fast gives me the hiccups. Let's see. I have to plan on trying that. Okay, let's see. I know, right, Ellen? See, here again, I did some of the green. I've done this in a couple different books where I go through the whole book and do like all the greens. Like I haven't done it here, but you can see where I could. Did her eyes green. So yeah, it's a very cool book. I'm going to have fun coloring in it. So again, this one's done and this one's almost done. I got to work a little on the roof. This one, you probably can't tell, but I added about 3 colors to the roof and then did a squiggle to make it look kind of, I don't know what. But I put some squiggles in the roof and like whatever kind of tile situation that is. And I have a couple colors in this roof, but I haven't done any shading on the roof here. So I got to finish that, add a little bit more shading to it, but it's, 90% of the way done. So again, Fairyland, Anastasia, Anemone. So there we go. Beautiful. I love this book. I really do love this book. Of course, my newest book is always my favorite book. All right, so there's that. Then I did get the new Wondrous Folk, which y'all know I have her other book, Wildflower Folk. So I do, and I have done a lot out. This is Christine Karen. I have tons of Christine Karen books. These are 2 of her nicer books. They're nice, very nice paper, nice. But what I do in here, and I went ahead and pulled my color binder just to show y'all some of hers. I do cut these out when I'm finished with them and put them in the binder. There's a few in here that have started. This is the other. I've done many flips of this. See, I start them like this. And then when I finish them, though, I cut them out and put them in my binder. Now I'm going to have to back out. There you go. So Christine Karen, this is her first one. Well, it's not her very first book, but it's her first not hardback. Nicer book, not just copy paper kind of book. But anyway, Wildflower Folk, Christine Karen. And I do have some, like here's one I haven't even put in the sleeve yet. So this one I did, this one's called Ocean Eyes, and I put them in plastic sleeves and put them in this binder. So you can see, now I don't do all my color books this way. If it's a hardback, like Marie Troll or those kind of hardback books, I don't cut the pages out of those. But if it's, if it's cuttable, I'll cut them out. And then what I usually do is, let me get let's see, where's a white pencil here. And I'll put on the back, Wildflower, Folk, Chris, is it with an H in there, her name? Yeah, Kristen Karen. And is there 2 R's? Yes, Kristen Karen. So I'll write on the back with a white pencil because I put them on black cardstock. And then I put them in my binder. So I need to put this one in the binder. I have a couple loose pages in here. Let's see if I can find a couple other Kristen Karen by memory. Because they're on the back, but there's 2 pages in here. So to see who did it, if I don't know, I have to take them out and look at the back. Because they're all mounted on black cardstock. And y'all have seen all these multiple times. Different books, different artists. There's a whip and there's a whip. I probably will never. I did these on camera 2018, 2012. Anyway, I did them a long time ago just to, a demo. It was a demo on stream. So, and if you see the girls with fangs, I gave them fangs. They didn't have fangs. Maria Budak, this one's got, and a lot of them have glitter. You can't see. Yeah, I've taken these pages out multiple times. This one, though, I'm going to take out because I love the way this one turned out with, what do you call it? Liquid pearls. I love the way this one came out. Okay, let's see. And I love this double page spread. And if they have skin like mermaids or something like that, or tigers, I put that on there too. Here, this is a Christine Karen, and this one, this is one that's from another book. Which one is it? This one is Through Worlds and Times. This is one of our smaller books, but she put this one. It's got lots of glitter. This one is in her new book, or very similar, Wondrous Folk. This one is in there. So I love this one too. Thanks, guys. Hi, Tex. I know I'm missing some people coming in. Let's see. Oh, glad to hear that, Tina. I just saw your comment about your narcolepsy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we're still good. All right. So anyway, yeah, this one is one of my favorites as well. It's called, that's the Genie. Let's catch it on something. There we go. So anyway, and this is all stencil with ink. This has got a collage in it. And then these are Jasmine Beckett Griffith books. I do cut them out. Yes, I do. These are all Jasmine. Lots of glitter on that one. This was my very first Jasmine, and somebody ripped this one off some years ago. They took, not only did they take Jasmine's image, but they took this color book image and made T-shirts out of it or something. And I did tell her about it, but I think she's just like that. Probably, I mean, I'm thinking she thinks that happens so often, she can't even fight it. But this one was ripped off long years ago. Love my mermaid there. She's got glitter on her. You can't see it inside the sleeve, but. And this is a Christine Karen, and this one's from Mermaid Dreaming. Did this one 2018. This is one of her thinner books, as is this one. This is from her Fairies book, and 2018. These pop back up on my Facebook memories or whatever, so I reposted these two. These are done with these three right here are done with pan pastels. So this, and this is done with pan pastel with color pencil added on top. This is a Christine Karen. This is from her realistic portraits. I forget what it's called, but anyway, this one, portraits. That's all it is, called portraits. This one. These are all Christine. So you see, I've been following Christine Karen for the longest time. So this is a Christine Karen. And I think this one might be reposted in here as well. This one has liquid pearls on her. This one is out of her Wildflower Folk. As is this one. Lots of stenciling. Actually, I should put this one here. Let's go ahead and put this one right here in the Christine Karen section. Just slide her right in there. There we go. So this is Lana Green. Again, another vampire girl. And I did her as a leopard. And these are Mario Budek, Lana Green. Hubster colored. Which one did he color? He colored that one. He was on stream a couple of times. He colored with me a couple of times. I think he did this one as well. And then just some other little things here in the back that are mostly just partially. Oh, here, these right here. Got a lot of glitter on those dragons. So anyway, I keep... It's already getting really full. It's hard. I don't know. I can't get too much more in here. And then in the back, like these right here, these are my serene. This one needs to go somewhere. This is too big to fit in a sleeve. A lot of my serenes are too big to fit in sleeves, but I have them in here. Kat's trying to put in links on things, Kat. You don't have to do that. So, okay, let's turn the bright down again. Let's see. Let's fix the brightness or turn it up a little. There we go. So these are my serene pages that I did years ago. And I love my serene book. I have two of them. The one that I've worked out of this one, and I gave Cameron quite a few pages out of it back in the years, then I also have another copy. Oh, thank you, Laverne. Yeah, this one needs to be finished. There's my Golden Goddess. That's got gold all on her. I need to finish that. This one is the monochromatic angel. This was a Christmas one. So these are all serene. This one I love. It's got the gold in it. So yeah, this one I need to finish. And then it's got some other ones back here that are just too big to fit. This one I love too. They're too big to fit in the sleeves. So they go back in here in the back of the book. And then there's this one is one that I did in dimensional. I don't do many in dimensional, but if I know I'm going to cut them out and put them in a sleeve, then I don't mind doing a dimensional. But this one's got flowers glued onto it and glitter. But you can't don't try to do in your book. Like if you're going to not take it out of the book, that's going to be a nightmare. If you have to work on the next page or a page on top of it, you're going to have to be putting lots of padding. How big are the Serene pages? I'll measure it for you. I don't remember. So, but this is one of Kristen Karen's Wildflower Folk as well. Serene, let me get a ruler over here. Nine and a quarter by 13 and a half. 9 and a quarter by 13 and a half. So anyway, I wanted to kind of show you a few of my Wildflower Folk because I do take them out, and you can see all that's full. I do take them out and put them in the sleeves. So, and I have a few in here that I've started just with some skin. And what I like about them too, not only is the paper nice quality, but they're one-sided. So you just put put something between so that if you want to use alcohol markers, like I did use alcohol markers on some of these, like there, see? So if you want to use alcohol markers, just make sure you put something behind it, and then you can, use alcohol markers. Okay, you're welcome. Let's see if you have any more questions. Hi, Scooby. Good to see you. Good to see you, Scoobs. Been a while. She did email me, but it's nice to see you, Scoobs. It's always nice to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're doing okay lately. So I still have tons of pictures to do in this one, as you can see, and I've started different ones. But I will, as I finish them, I'll cut them out and put them in my binder. I think there's a couple that I've cut out here, like here's a loose one. Probably when I was cutting out the page in front of it, I sliced it, 2 out. So that's Wildflower Folk. And she has all kinds of other books out too, but these are her 2 nice ones. And so this is her newest one, just came out, Wondrous Folk. And I did tab a couple pages that I'm going to want to do out of this book. So let's go ahead and do a flip of Wondrous Folk. And it's got a nice sleeve cover over it like this. Yes, I know. I don't, when people disappear, we wonder, we ask, but if you want to blend, the best way to blend, especially faces, it's alcohol markers, hand down. Alcohol markers are pan pastel if you want to blend very well. And I know not everybody likes pan pastels. You do have to spray them. They're not cheap. But at the same time, nowadays everybody gets the Ohuhu alcohol markers. But like the Copics, if one Copic's about the same price as one pan pastel. And pan pastels, you're never going to run out. Unless you're doing huge landscapes or something with them. Pan pastels last forever. Well, you'll have to refill a Copic or buy a new Copic. But if you want to do... the best blend, it's alcohol markers. That being said, you have to remember you can't use alcohol markers on a double-sided page because it's going to bleed through. It will bleed through, okay? So you have to, like here, they're just one-sided, so you can put something between. But if they're double-sided, you can't use alcohol markers without ruining one side. Now, what in the book, this one that I just showed y'all this morning, this Fairyland, it's one-sided, and I've been using my Ohuhu water-based, and there's some missing here because they're the colors that I'm using right now. They're sitting right here. But I got these Ohuhu water-based, and they came in a bag. You know, Ohuhu has everything in bags. I don't like bags, and I don't put my stuff back in bags. I'll never use it if I have to do that. But anyway, there's 100 and I forget how many. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I bought these. I don't know if it'll pop up on my Amazon or not. Let's see. They weren't expensive. The water-based markers are not that expensive compared to the alcohol markers. Let me do who water-based markers. Okay. Here we go. And they were cheaper when I bought them. They've gone up. They're like $42 now. There's how many? 160 colors, and they come in a box. And see, they come in a little. They come in a little bag, and then you can see like here, there. So there's 160, and I think when I got them, they were only like, I think they were like $35. Hi, Devin. Now they're 42, but that's the same thing with the Ohu alcohol markers. These used to be dirt cheap. You could get 100 of them for $9 or something. You know, they were really inexpensive when they first came out. Now everybody wants the Ohuhu. They're competing with like Copic, so they're more expensive. But you know, I have y'all seen my build here with all my alcohol markers, and I mix them. I'll use Ohuhu, Copic, Masters Touch. I'll use all the Milo. I don't even know if Milo's still around, but I'll use any alcohol markers. They all, you know, I'll use the Chows with the regular Sketch, you know, Copics. But anyway, these are water based. Okay, these are water based. Hi Dot, good to see you. Who else am I missing? Said hi to Devin. Okay. So anyway, these are what I've been using in Fairyland, along with pencils. So like you see here where I started, this is the water base. This is just one color. It's one color green. And I just went through and picked out some of the pages that I knew were going to have that green, and just went ahead and did all the green just because I felt like doing that. So, but anyway, so this one's almost done. It's about 90% done. And this one is finished, and I did post this. Now the background, like I said earlier, the background is all pencil. This is all pencil. This is a dark teal, a light teal, and white blended out, many layers. Same thing for this pink, and I'm going to add a little bit darker here around the edge here, so the pink will be a little more fuchsia, a little like, let me see what color. Probably this color. Is that the same color? Prismacolor. So I will take, let's see, where's my pencil? Thank you, Tina. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. So what I'll do is I'll take my fuchsia and my pink. Let me sharpen that one too. And white. And that's what this is. Right now, this background is only this color and white. Let's turn the brightness down. Got to adjust the color when I go from black to white. So this one is processed red. It's like a fuchsia color. And so what I'll do a little section here for y'all. Let's see, let's zoom in. So I'll just do a little bit where I want the darkest pink. Here. Right around the edge. If you want it to real blendy like this, so you have to do light layers and not a lot. I mean, I could probably hard pressure right here along the edge, but then you're going to have to feather it out, because if you hard pressure to get a dark color right off the bat, you're going to wax up your page. Especially these are thin. These are thin pages here. So take it slow with lots of layers. And this I'm telling you, it probably took me an hour. Probably took me an hour to do this background, and I'm pretty fast. So, let's hang on, guys. Let me turn the brightness down. Okay. Where was I? Oh, I was going to turn the brightness down just a little. If I lift this up, I think that'll help because the light's flashing on it. There we go. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tex. Yeah, I get to my mailbox probably at least once, if not twice a week. They can bleed through, Ellen. The water-based ones can bleed through if you really. You need to let layers dry with water-based so that they're not oversaturating your page. Now, this it doesn't matter if it. And I keep something between all my pages when I color. I should be doing it right now, even on this little demo, because when it'll dent the next page if nothing else. Water-based can bleed through, but that's less likely if you don't just sit there and, like here. Let me show you. Let's go. There's a sample page back here. Let's see. Nope, that's thicker. Okay, so I can't show you in this book. Well, maybe. Let's see the front. Okay, here we go. I can do that. Well, I might want to color that, so I can't really show you, but it can saturate through. Do I have a copy paper here? Oh, here we go. So, like if you take a water-based and you're heavy-handed with it, see, it can go through. But if you're careful and then let it dry before you go in, make sure that's dry. See, it might ghost a little, but it's not going to bleed through. But you got to, be aware. You got to test supplies. You have to test everything. You really do. All right, let's see. Oh. All right. So let me go ahead and just do a light blend here. So then I just go back and forth or little circles or real slow and blend it into what I've already got there. But it will make a difference. I love high contrast in my coloring. So I'm getting a lighter and lighter touch as I go further and further out. Okay. So I'll do this first. Okay. See the difference that made? But then to blend that out, I'll take my pink and I'll go over what I just did to make it smooth and soft and blended. And then I'll go further out. So I'm going over what I just did, but light touch. Don't see how far back I'm holding my pencil. If you get right up on it, you're going to get really hard pressure. If you hold your pencil back a little bit, you won't do the hard pressure. And you probably can't see it, but I can see where there's any kind of lines or, I can blend it in very softly. And you also have to be aware of where you want this like glow. You got to stop at some point. You got to stop and blend. And then as it gets further out, then I'll take my white. Where's my white? I'm sitting here. I think I pulled it because I was using it on something. And always make sure your white tip is clean. Because if you have any black or a dark color on your white tip, as soon as you go to do this, you're going to lay that down. So always check the tip of your white pencil to make sure that it's clean before you start getting in here to blend, because otherwise you're going to have a nice black mark there. All right, so now I'm just kind of making sure it's all blended together here. Now I'd be a little bit more thorough if I was sitting here by myself, making sure I got every little inch. But there you can kind of see. See? See the difference that makes with the high contrast? So, yeah. Okay, where was I? Oh, I was flipping through this book. Oh, I just was showing y'all the water-based markers. Again, these are, you know, if you want to start out with water-based markers, I can recommend that you get the Crayola Super Tips. Crayola Super Tips are water-based markers. They rarely bleed through. They are amazing. Now, again, water-based markers are not going to blend like alcohol markers. But like what I'm doing here, what I'm doing here is just putting down a flat color. I'm putting down a flat color and then shading with pencil. Okay, I'm not trying to do a lot of blendy here. Blending like green, 2 shades of green without making any lines or anything. This is just a flat color. And then I go over it with pencil. Okay, let me see if I can find a little something to make a little demo of that. Let's see. All right, like right these little stones here. I think I have a gray too. Yeah, so here's a gray. And what I'll do is I just go over the whole thing. Those are little stone. I don't see any more, but I'll just do that. Got to let it dry. Let that. And it only takes a minute, but make sure high cat and paste. Make sure that's dry before you go hit it with color pencil. Because if I go in this right now with color pencil, it's going to dig up the paper. It's going to pill the paper. It might even tear the paper. Make sure your water-based markers are dry. I can feel it's wet. If I go in there right now with pencil, it's going to put a hole in it, probably. Okay. Hi, Tori. Who else am I missing? So, yeah, but all these backgrounds here, these backgrounds are all pencil. No marker in the background here. And y'all know I'm the first one to pick up some acrylic paint and do a background, which I do that as well. Hang on, I don't think she knows I'm streaming. Hang on, let me see here. Oh, okay. Okay, so Mary's messaging. Mary, you're watching. Mary, you can come in. She goes, if I come in, everybody's just going to stop and say happy birthday to me. I don't want to disrupt the chat. Come on in, Mary. Mary, come on in, girl. Let everybody say happy birthday to you. Come on in. Come on down, girl. And let everybody say happy birthday to you. Y'all go ahead and start saying happy birthday to Mary, even if she's lurking. See, you're going to get happy birthdays anyway, Mary, so you might as well come on in. Oh my gosh, so funny, Mary. Janet said, your plan failed, Mary. Your plan failed. Come on in. Mary was going to do a stream from the thrift store to this afternoon. Let me fix the lighting again. But she said her thrift store's closed today, so she's going to do it tomorrow. So sometime tomorrow afternoon, Mary's going to, depend on weather and how she's feeling and all that. But she plans on going to the thrift store and doing a live from the thrift store sometime tomorrow afternoon. Everybody's saying happy birthday to you, Mary. You might as well come on in, girl. All right, so let's go ahead and finish flipping the new Wondrous Folk. haven't seen her yet, but ah, thanks, guys. We love to celebrate our birthdays. Janet and I celebrate for a month. Y'all have plenty of time to tell us happy birthday. So and they have like this is Astral Faye. So they have she's got them all named and everything. So I'll go ahead and oh my goodness. Uh, and this paper is thicker and nicer. Plus, again, it's one-sided, so if you want to use alcohol markers, it doesn't matter if it's bleed through, but make sure you put something behind it so you don't bleed onto the next page. Fey Messengers, Fairy Bride, Fairy Magic. So anyway, that she has little names for each one. See, here's the one that I showed y'all I did earlier. Jeannie, that I did in her other thin book, her thinner paper book. I'm pretty sure it was in one of her thinner ones. And see, it doesn't bother me to use thin paper. I know Tina and Cheshire Cat, Cat and Paste, they don't give them any thin paper. But I'll use whatever. And you can make a copy. If you buy a book and it's thin paper and you want it on thicker paper, make a copy. The only problem with doing that is depending on your inkjet printer, if it will smear your inkjet ink if you use alcohol markers. So you got to be aware of that if you make a copy. Okay. Love her. I love the braids. I want to do this girl. I like her. And all this right here I'd probably do with the Perfect Pearls. All this would be done. I'd color it and then Perfect Pearl all this. But again, I cut these out. If you do Perfect Pearls or Stickles in your book, it's going to be lumpy and bumpy. So, be aware of that. If you do it in your book and leave it in your book, you're going to have lumps and bumps in your book. I cut these out and put them in the binder. Tina. So this is her new one. It just came out. And this one too. I've done this one twice. I did one for View. I gave one to View. And I've also got one that I've done for myself. This is the other one I want to do. Sea Pearls. Again, I would want to use, she's like a, mermaid-esque type girl. See how some kind of, I would probably extend that skin up, make it more all over her. And then pearls, a lot of pearls on this one. So, Tina. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Steampunk Huntress. There's a lot in these two books. So if you like doing, Fae and, anyway, there we go. Wondrous Folk. That's her second book like this. Okay, I'll show you. I'm not going to, let me fix the lighting. I'm going to show you the other color books before I show you my magazines, but I know this everybody's going to want to see this. Somerset Halloween. Then I also got the new Somerset Studio. In her studio. Is that all the magazines? Yeah, those are the magazines. But I have a couple other color books to show you. Wait, what's that? Oh, I pulled this one because I have, Tina, someone sent this to me. Tina, was it you? This needs to go in I need to put this on my page and put this in my book. So this one, what else? Just some cardstock. Let me pull this cardstock because, and the other one too is the And this is copy. I mean, this is the thinnest copy paper you can get. But we did this Pinocchio with the bird pooping on his head. So I need to get back to, I pulled this one too to get back to working in it because I do like this book as well. But then I cut the pages out. I'll mount them on black cardstock and put them in my binder. So this is her. And then this one, see, I see where the lines are. I'll cut that down. I'll cut it off right there. I have to finish this background, cut this down and put it on a black cardstock and then put them in my book. We had fun with this one. So, yeah, I wanted to work in this one again too. So I pulled that. All right, let me finish showing you my color books and then we'll show these 3 magazines. Okay. All right, and I have one, and I also have a new sticker book. Okay, so let's do this. So because of Cat and Paste, let me pull up her IG. I don't know if she's still here. But because of Cat and Paste, oh, Devin, I just saw this. What did she do? Page from seeing the Coloring Cafe. She's okay. So this, I haven't seen Devin do a color book page. I just popped up. This was what popped up in my feed. I just saw that, Devin. Oh, that's cute. I had not seen that. It just popped up. So Cat and Paste does these out of books like this. Very. Oh, hang on. I don't want any music. Let me turn down the music. Out of these simple kind of books like this, and she turns them into stitch to look like stitchery. Look. See how it looks like stitching? And I'd never seen that until Cat and Paste posted it. And I know she said they're over on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. So if there's something like this on TikTok, I don't see it because I'm not on TikTok. But anyway, so it looks like stitch. Let me find another one that's maybe not quite so dark. And this one she does, well, let me see. Okay, so she made a video on it too. And she also did these stickers to make it look like stickers sticking on the page. So see how it looks like stitching? So that's Cat and Paste. And so I said, oh, I'm going to try. So one, all I've done so far is this. That's as far as I got. But anyway, these little, I don't know, cute and comfy is what they're called, I think. Cute and comfy books. I'm going to try to do the next page following Cat and Paste faux. Yeah, the faux stitching. Yeah. That's why I got this one too. That's the only reason I got this was to try Cat and Paste techniques. I don't have any books like this. I have no books that are this simple. So I got one to try Cat and Paste simple techniques, or simple line art to make it look like stitching. And you can do other things too. I'm sure you can do other patterns. You could do dots. You could make stippling. Everything looks like dots. So you could stipple it. And so anyway, this is Tiny Gardens, Cute and Comfy. I think one of the Cheshire Cat put a link. So hi, Mama Juju. Who else am I missing here? So let's see. Devin had said this. Faux embroidery sticker tutorial. Yeah. So Cat and Paste has a tutorial on how to do that I just showed y'all. Okay. Okay. So she did dots from a beach scene. Okay. See? And it's with these simple kind of coloring book pages. Let's see. It wasn't you that sent me that book? Okay. Okay. So let's see. The Cheshire Cat just put Cat and Paste tutorial up. There y'all go. Don't go watch it right now. Put it in your to be watched. All right, so there's that. Then the other color book I found I found both of these. Oh, well, this is not a color book. So I found this at Books a Million. Like I said, I hadn't been in a while. So this was over in a separate, they have, my Books a Million has an art and photography section, an art section, a color book section. This is back like in the color book section is back in the gamer section. There's also in the kids section. So you have to kind of look around. Got to look around and never neglect looking in the kids department because there's all these cool stuff that you might find in the kids department. Although this was in the color book section over by the gaming department. So you got to kind of look around. And I know what do you call it? Barnes and Noble is kind of the same way. They've got a craft section, an art section, a color book. There's different sections. I don't know how they decide what's what, but anyway. So I found this autumnal wood enchanted creatures over in the color book section. Let's turn the brightness down a little. I'm trying to keep the color and lighting as true as possible. But yeah. So anyway, this came out in 2025 and it's got it's different. It's got different line widths. It kind of reminds me of that book that I got. If y'all want to see it, I'll go downstairs and get it out of my art book collection that I got at the museum 10, 15 years ago. Different street art people did different color book type book and I bought Cameron and I each one from the museum, our high museum back in the day, and this kind of reminds me of that. Tina, you sent me the magical wood. Yeah, and I have that sitting here too. Where's my magical woodland? I think I have that sitting here too. Well, I have it sitting here somewhere. I have a stack. I have that one sitting here too, Tina. So this is kind of different and cool. I mean, it's just different. And the paper's real thick, Tina. This paper's real thick. So, look, Janet, little butts. Janet draws these butts on everything after there's some guy that does books called Butts on Things, and Janet draws butts on things. It is real cute. So it's kind of it is cute, and I thought maybe we'll do some something out of this one as well. But the line weight is different on these pages. And again, it's real heavyweight paper. I'll give you all the ISBN. You like this one, Cat and Paste? I'll give you the ISBN in just a second. See how the line weight's different? Real heavy and real light line weight. Yeah, you would probably rock this, Cat and Paste. Well, so would Tina. All y'all coloring girls would. And you could paint, Now, don't oversaturate. Any kind of oversaturation of paint, watercolor, anything like that. You have to do any kind of water-based markers, even or water-based paint on the thicker paper. You have to do it in little stages. You have to do a layer, let it dry, or hit it with the heat tool. Let it dry, and then put another layer, because otherwise you're going to pill your paper. Isn't it cute, Cat and Paste? Well, not even stitching, Tina, just in general. See, look at this. Isn't that cool? See, I would probably get out my acrylic, watered down acrylic paints for this. Maybe a solid black acrylic paint in the background and some stars, planets, nebula, do some nebulization on the background. but it's just different. Their little expressions. It's just a little bit different than this is the first time I saw it too, was at my bookstore this last weekend. I don't know if there's more of them out by this person. We can check. But it's just the first time I'd seen this book or this, anything like this particular book. So we'll get the deets here just a second. Okay. And so the ISBN is 978-07893-45752, and it's $16.95 regular price. If you don't have a discount, and it might be cheaper on Amazon. It's Rizzoli Universe. Rizzoli Universe. Here we go. So I don't know if there's more Rizzoli. I have not looked on Amazon for any of this. Like I said, I found this at my Books A Million. Yeah, it would be a good one for collage, Tina, for sure. So I might do some collage in it, or I got lots of choices now. I got new books. I'm trying to finish up that other Fairyland page to post, and yeah. But I think that would be a good one for collage. If y'all missed it earlier, I did do a collage in my Catitude. Mixed media. Here we go. I posted it on Instagram. So I did collage faces and paws, and then I added claws. So that you could tell the feet, because I use Portost map paper. So, and then part of the mushrooms, I did the little mushroom bases too, and their little feet and around their little faces with collage. So, so that's Autumnal Woods, Enchanted Creatures. Again, Rizzoli Universe. I'll have to go see if there's more Rizzoli Universe type books on Amazon, but this was the only one that I saw by Rizzoli. I didn't dig for the books, but this one was like new, and it was in like 4 or 5 of them were there, and that drew me to that, because when they're new, they have a lot of them, right? So there's that. Then this is a collage book, but I got it at Books A Million as well. This was over in the art section. Botanical cut and collage. Y'all know I never can hardly pass up a collage book or a sticker book, which I got a sticker book as well. And it's by the same people, but the one that Denise stole. That I gave to her. So this is a botanical cut and collage, over 300 images. This one is 978-139-8855-342. Okay. And it's Arcturus Publishers. So anyway, Arcturus. Arcturus. Phonics is your friend. I taught all my kids, grandkids phonics. That's how they learned to read at 4 years old, is hooked on phonics. Worked for me. That's what worked for me when I was 3 or 4, when grandma taught me how to read. A little list on how to collage, some steps and tips. And then the whole rest of the book is one-sided, which some of y'all will love, one-sided collage pages. So if you cut something out, the back sides are just like a wallpaper type thing. So lots, and they're nice, clear, crisp images, and it is a nice weight. It's heavier than heavier than copy paper, but it's not cardstock. Probably, maybe, I don't know, 6. It's more than, feels like it's more than 60, maybe 90. I don't know, but it's not cardstock, but it's a nice thick paper. So I'm going to do a flip for y'all of this. And if y'all notice when I do flips, not that I love to promote my the books and the artists and everything. When I'm flipping, I try to keep my hand on the pages like this, so that they're not, someone doesn't just snap a picture of it and make a copy. I try. Now, I'll put my finished pages right up to the camera, but, I'm trying, to not have them, don't take a screenshot and just, you know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. So I try to keep my hand in the page, so y'all get the idea what's on them. But this is a nice heavyweight paper with all botanicals. And they may have more. This company may have more cut and collage. Again, I got this at Books A Million, so I have not looked it up to see if there's more of this. Okay, Tina. Tina always has she bless her heart. Mushrooms. And the back sides are different colors. Hi, Heart House. Hi, Mama 4. Okay, Tina. She's probably got to reboot her. Autumnal Woods is a digital illustrator who doodles all things sweet, sunshine, and storybook inspired. Thanks, me. It reminds me, I can go run downstairs and get it. I think it's down. I'm pretty sure I can picture in my head where I placed it on what shelf. I can probably find it, but I don't know that book's available. I bought it at my museum years ago, but it reminds me of the street art color book that I bought back in the day. Okay, so that's botanicals again, cut and collage. I'm not sure if there's more, different flowers, florals, this was the only one that I saw at Books A Million in the cut and collage little, thing there. Then over in the sticker section, it's a different section altogether. Again, I got Denise this, and I have a couple of these other Chartwell books, but the other new one I gave to Denise. I'll show you the ones I have. So I don't have their other newest one because I gave it to Denise. Let's move this up here. But I've shown y'all these before, Antiquities, and it's sticker, color, and activity books. So they have all kinds of, they have stickers, they have cutouts, they have Q&As, they have, like, here's Victorian trivia. So this was Antiquities. This one's Floral, Fauna, Botanicals, and Bees. And these are available on Amazon because I've seen them there before. Floral, Fauna, Botanical, and Bees. And again, they have all kinds of they have stickers, but they also have quotes, nature trivia. It's all kinds of stuff. It's not just stickers. There's all kinds of other mazes, bee trivia, scavenger hunt. But there's also lots of stickers, right? So that one is Floral, Fauna, Botanicals, and Bees. I forget the name of the new one. Again, I gave it to Denise. Oddities and Curiosities. And again, this one, look at that. Oh, I love these. And I got it for $16.95. It was a bargain price. But mazes, stickers, fish, bugs, Egyptian, couple of color book pages here. A couple of color book pages in this one. Quotes. But they're all themed. Okay, they're all themed. And so this is the other new one, Angels, Faith, and Prayers. And Denise had told me that this one was at Books A Million. And they're all by the same Chartwell books. I think those are the only 3 there. And then the one Denise has, and then this is their other newest one. Okay. I know I love stickers too, Angie. So again, here's the intro. And again, it's all kinds of different things. It's got angelology, order of angels, mazes, angel names, mazes. I have a few mazes at the front, quotes, and all kinds of stickers too. These are all stickers right here. More quotes by authors, proverbs, prayers, angel quotes and stuff. Um, so you can see here's if you want to stick your stickers on these pages. More quotes, more stickers. Some color book pages. And it does mention the angels that are in Christianity, Islam, and Jewish faith. They have the different angel names for the different ones. In the different faiths. Trivia, angelic music, poems, more poems, quotes, and then more stickers. So just tons of different stickers. Thank you, Kat, put in Chartwell books, sticker books. Well, they're called sticker and activity. Sticker, color, and activity books. 500 stickers. But there's all the other stuff that I just mentioned. So there's that. Now for the magazines that I got. Let me get a sip of water here. Hi, Nat. Who else am I missing? Karen, Kathleen Kelly. Who else am I missing? Scrolling. Put it in caps, guys, if you're talking to me. So I try not to miss you, but we have over 100 people. So if everybody's talking at once, which I love. By the way, did Mary ever come in? Mary, come on in, girl. Come in. I'm embarrassing her. So I got Inner Studio. That's a Somerset magazine. Somerset Studio and Somerset Halloween. So we'll take a little peruse of each one. I don't usually buy In Her Studio. This one looked really interesting. There's In Her Studio and What Women Make. They're two different magazines. And now these magazines are, it's like buying a book. I mean, they're not cheap. This one's $16.99. I think they're all $16.99. Yeah, they're all $16.99. So it's like buying a book. But y'all know how we have taken these after you've used them, cut them in half, trim them down this way, and reuse them for junk journals. Let me pull one real quick. Let's see here. Here's one where I've taken a few of them and put them together. I took two different ones and cut them in half. And I just cut these myself. You can take them and have them cut. This is one of my oldest ones, so it's pretty beat up. But anyway, you can have them cut for you so you don't have to cut them down with a knife and a metal ruler. Don't ever use a plastic ruler. But cut them in half and then put them together and then go back over them and paint over them, reverse collage over them. And and play with them. So, even though you're spending $17 for a magazine, you can always cut it up and, play in it, right? And I white out the text. And so, yeah. Okay. And put my own cover on them. Or you can leave the covers. Let me show you another one. Let's see. Let me find one handy. Here we go. Here's a couple from Art Journal. We must have worked in this one kind of recently because it's still got wax paper in it so that it wouldn't stick together. So, yeah. See? So just, you can cut them down, cut them in half, cut them, however you want. I've got a whole bunch of tiny ones as well. And then just play in them so you can get, more use out of them than um, just the magazine. Have fun. Okay, let's see. So this one is in her studio, and it's just different women's studio and what they do. We're not going to read the articles, but what's nice about Somerset Studio and their magazines, Stampington is the name of the publishing, is that they always have tips and tricks and things that the artists tell you that they do. Like here's this woman here in Wild Dreamer, and I don't see if that's I don't know if the article's by Tammy Hutchin or if this is Tammy, but anyway, it goes into their studios. Okay, it goes into their studios and shows you. Here's advice for artists. Let me just pick one. Seek out mentors and creative friends who get what you're doing. You need allies and cheerleaders on your creative mission. You won't get the feedback you need from folks who don't get it. So, there's a whole list of different advice. So it's just all different. I'm going to do a kind of a quick flip here just so y'all can kind of see the different jewelry makers, painters, fiber artists. Here's just between artists. How do you set the mood for creating? Let's just pick a random one. I play inspired music and burn incense. It's my escape into imagination and dreams. I'm happiest when I'm in the zone and creating. Time just flies by. That's a random 1 out of 20. So for me, I don't play music. I will put on maybe a video in the background or something that will just be, I'll be lurking. But music changes my mood, and I like to be in control of my mood when I'm creating. But some people like to have, that mood change or whatever you want to call it. Art and spirit, a life's purpose unfolding. And I guess it says by Jen Cushman, so I'm thinking that is the actual artist. I haven't read this yet. I just got these, and I'm kind of sharing them with y'all while I just got them. Let's see. What's Devin sent out the check orders? She has something coming. Not sure what Devin has coming. Yeah, I know, right? Janet used to whine when magazines were $7.99. Let's see. Yeah, I know Barnes and Noble and Books a Million carry all the Somerset magazines. Well, Somerset Studio Art Journaling, In Her Studio, Where Women Create. There's a whole bunch of different ones. The ones that used to be first were the Somerset Studio and the Stamp magazine. There's Stamp magazine. I don't even think they have the Stamp magazine anymore. Let's see. Bella Gray's, the Cozy Issue, Made in the Garden. Here's the Halloween one, which is a specialty one, Art quilting, Willow Sage, In Her Garden, jewelry, art journaling, the candle issue. So anyway, there's all kinds of Mingle. There's all kind of magazines put out by Stampington. But I think they started with the Stamp magazine and with Somerset Studio. Those, I think, were the two. And I showed y'all some back that I have from the 90s that I showed a couple weeks ago. So anyway, so this one is, look at all the jewelry hanging, artistic insights, different insights from this particular artist. Here she is there, barefoot. Love that. I'm barefoot 99% of my life. It looks like they're making dyes, fabrics, jewelry. So this is a fun packed issue if you want to see different studios, different mediums, and there's photography. Here's another question thing. How do you stay focused and organized while working in your studio? And all the artists answered that question. Let me pick a random one. Amanda Rigby. Staying focused is quite a challenge, but I love to put on noise canceling headphones and a podcast of my favorite studio playlist. This helps me fall into flow state while I put paint to paper. If I am packing orders, returns of my favorite shows are also nice for background noise. So everybody answered that question. So, they're very informative. They're very, and the studio ones are really good too. And again, I don't buy all the studio. I don't even buy all the Somerset Studios. If I buy any of all of them, it would be probably the art journaling one. And I have so many of those since their inception that even that becomes a little redundant after you do it and you buy so many. But if you're new to any of the mixed media world, I cannot recommend Somerset Studio and Art Journaling magazines enough. Okay, so let's look at the Somerset Studio a little bit. Are y'all enjoying this? I hope y'all are. Get a little see what's out there kind of thing. Let's see. Hi, Gina. Who else am I missing? I said hi to Dot. Uh, Janet, are you streaming today? I don't. I see you saying you're easing back into streaming. Does that mean you're streaming or not today? Let me wait a second and see her answer. Oh, you're welcome, Devin. Yeah, because if you don't have a bookstore or you're not close to a bookstore, we can just go and sit down and flip through them. You have to order them. Then you don't know whether you should order them because you don't know what's in them. And I try not, to read all the articles or anything like that, but I like y'all to get a taste of what's in them so that you're inspired to buy them. Let's see. I'm looking for Janet's answer. She might have stepped away. I'll try to keep an eye out for Janet's answer to see if she's streaming today. Unless one of y'all saw whether she is or not. Okay, so Somerset Studio, again, there's tons of different quotes and tips by the various artists and special features, departments in every issue. And again, I've not read these or looked at them. She is streaming? Okay. All right, so Janet streams at 1 Eastern. Thanks, Dot. And yeah, I got rid of a lot of my magazines, Gina, and still to this day, after other than my 1996, 7, 8, those some of the really old ones, which I showed y'all a couple of weeks ago, I probably have I have 2 stacks about this big that I keep on my shelf, about this wide. I have my Somersets and my art journaling about two. What is this? About 2 feet, 4 feet, maybe I have 4 feet of magazines, and I probably got rid of 8 feet of magazines. And I would tear out the, like here, the cardstock. I'd tear out the cardstock. See, these are perforated and you can tear them out. I would tear these out and I got rid of most of them because there's just too many. I just didn't have room for them. I wasn't using them. I had so many I couldn't even cut them up. And trying to share them and mail them is a cost as much as the magazine, right? So, all right, here we go. And there's usually about 6 of these, I think, in each one. Yeah, here's 2 more here. There's usually about 6 cardstock weight perforated pages in the books. All right, let's go back to the front here. Mixed media journal tale, talking about and all the supplies they used for the project, show you step by step, tell you how they did it, how to make your own. So these are just packed full of inspiration, ideas, and step by steps, guys. If you don't know how to do mixed media, if you can't, you say, well, I don't know, it's hard to follow people on YouTube. Get one of these, and see. Look at this. just looking at this, if you just even got inspired by one thing off of each of those journals, you'd be there a year. Nobody has uh, an excuse for saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to make. I have no ideas. First off, you should be keeping a Society of Idea Collector notebook. And then even if you don't keep your magazines, you can tear out different sections and put maybe the whole article or something that you like and put it in your Society of Idea Collector notebook and keep that. Types of antique ephemera to collect. Ledger paper. So even the things I'm reading to you or talking about, y'all should have something, a post-it note out. Handwritten or typed correspondence, including stamped letters, antique book boards, vintage receipts, tickets, and invoices, Victorian photograph albums, aged glassine, foxed in papers, and vintage workbooks, specialty antique papers from around the world, particularly early 20th century Japanese and Indian papers from India. So, this to me, if you were starting out in mixed media and didn't know what to do, how to make a journal or a book, this one article is worth $16.99. If you have never done it and want to do it, want to start, one article out of this magazine is worth the price of the magazine. Hi, sister. Good to see you. Hope y'all are doing well out there that I might have missed. Joanne. Yeah, there you go, Arlene. Anything you like. And you can also submit. Our Packer Die has submitted to Art Journaling and Somerset and been in multiple issues. I haven't seen her post lately on YouTube, but she has been in quite a few of the Summer Stampington-ish magazines. So, and then lately, they've been, the last maybe a couple of years, they've been putting in these papers for you to try things, collage or whatever project they're spotlighting. And you can submit to them, and then even if you don't get a whole article, you might get in the back. They usually have like smaller, like this, different little article, small pieces of people's artwork. Collaging stories, one block at a time. These are done with little blocks in a box. See all the different sides, collaging all that. Storyboards. This one's a really pretty issue, by the way. This one right here. This is a pretty issue. Here's a different, layered book of different sizes. Tips. Build your composition by placing the largest paper elements first and then layer the smaller pieces that will only peek through here and there. So she's got a whole bunch of tips. They all have their tips and tricks, and then they also ask them questions throughout. They ask all the artists a certain question, and all the artists. Lynn Perella, I have her books from way back in 1990s, and she's one of the, I think she might be one of the, well, I know she's one of the founding people in this magazine. Editors, maybe, Lynn Perella. And you always will recognize her work. Looks like this. She has a very unique style. Pass it on. It looks like ATCs maybe, or cards. Gel prints. Here's a spotlight on a little cheeky gel print. So just little pieces of gel print. See, this is what I like for my gel printing. I use my gel printing for little bits. Like you saw when I did Carrie the Crafter's postcard challenge, and his other one with the larger page in my art journal. And that's how I use jelly prints. I use them to use spot pieces. Looks like pockets and envelopes, coasters. Oh, here's some more. So here's 2 more sheets. So maybe there's 8 in this one. I'm trying to be careful to keep it on the perforation. So you get a lot of, so that's 8 sheets of cardstock in here. Mail call, different, happy mail, family stories, shield yourself to the heraldry. And this is Michelle Ward. She's another one that's back from the Lynn Perella days. Michelle Ward doing heraldry. I did see a heraldry. I have a couple, but I saw a new one, well, new to me, at Ollie's. I told y'all, well, I told some of y'all that I did not think I had an Ollie's. And Hubster and I went down to another thrift store. And on the way to the thrift store, there was an Ollie's down there. And Hubster goes, yeah, I've been getting ads for Ollie's. I said, well, why didn't you tell me? He goes, I didn't know you wanted to know, because everybody I see that gets, inexpensive books and tons of them are at Ollie's. And I said, oh man, I wish I had an Ollie's. Well, I do have an Ollie's. It's around the area, a little farther than my post office. It takes me about 15 minutes. It's about 15 minutes away, an Ollie's. And I said, oh my gosh, hi girl, hey, Lisa. Anyway, there was a book there on heraldry. And I said, no, I'm not going to get it. It was like $3 or $3.99. I said, I don't need another book on heraldry. But, then I got this magazine. I go, man, maybe I should have got that book on heraldry. But I have a couple other ones. So anyway, she's making up her own, I'm sure making up her own different heraldry, different papers, stenciled and jelly printed, that looks like papers, and then more practice sheets here for whatever their project is. And then here's another just person that submitted one thing, a spotlight. So then there's some Halloween stuff. It looks like a little, what do you call those cabinets of curiosities in a book, maybe. It looks like they used a book to make a cabinet of curiosities. This actually looks like one of those box books that you can buy. I see them at Hobby Lobby. It's a box that looks like a book. So you open it. When it's closed, it looks like a book. But you see how it's got the edge there? And this may be a book. I don't know. But it would be a lot easier just to buy the box than to try to dig out a book. But whatever. This one's obviously a book. But anyway, so there's some of those. The joy of mixed media. Again, we all love that here. Ideas for low cost or free collage materials. Let's read one of these. All right, random. There are tons of vintage images and ephemera online that you can download for free. Libraries and museums around the world have digitized entire books with vintage illustrations at a high resolution, and they're copyright free. I know Mary Autier she knows all about those because she goes to those museums and libraries around the world that are copyright free, and you can go, and usually you have to sign in, but you can sign into their library or their museum, and they have tons of digi options that you can get for free. So, and then here's more of the different people that have submitted one thing, and they've been accepted. This is probably the best way for you to get your foothold into a magazine, is submit something for the spotlight, 2 or 3 images. Now, I don't know how they do it anymore. You used to have to send in your originals, and it's usually they have them. I think Packard Dye did some years ago. I don't know if it's still the case or if they're letting you send in digis now, digital submissions. I'm not sure. I haven't read it because I never really wanted to submit to magazines. But Janet's been published in some of the Rubber Stamp Madness magazines. Anyway, you used to have to send in your whole book. And can you imagine? I'm scared to death these days. But I don't know if you still have to do it. But you used to have to send in your whole journal. And they'd have it for at least 9 months, if not a year. Because they're 6, 8, and 9 months ahead of having to have the stuff to publish, right? So, memories from the past. So, yeah. So, anyway, that one is Somerset Studio. This is all the different papers that they have that are cardstock weight. So, there's that. And then the last magazine, saved it for last, is their Somerset Halloween. Let me get a sip of water here. Thanks, everybody, for being. I need to do a giveaway. What should we give away today? I don't know if y'all get tired of collage fodder giveaways. It's easy for me to do collage fodder envelopes, but I don't know if y'all get tired of collage fodder happy mail. Y'all let me know in the chat. Um, all right, so I use the Met open source for images. Yeah, the Met. There's all kinds of museums and libraries that have this. I've gone and looked at them. I haven't really. I just don't like to print out my stuff. I mean, I know I buy the collage soup and pour toast. Could probably just make a living off of my purchases, but anyway, not really. I mean, but I do purchase a lot of them. I just like having the actual book or magazine or whatever and tearing it out and using it, and I don't have another copy of it, you know? I just don't, you know? Now I have bought different things like, let me pull over here, something like, where are they here? I know I just cleaned my whole area here. You know, of course, the Tim Holtz, you know, I do buy stuff like the Tim Holtz people and stuff. And then here's little stickers, you know, little things like this. And of course, I love me some stickers, but y'all know if they have white edges, I cut them off. But you know, so I do like stuff like this, but it's not stuff I print off. Oh, here, this is the other thing. These kind of things, these little packs of papers like this. They're very thin. They're as opposed to scrapbook papers. These are paper very thin, perfect for collage. Okay, so if you're making ATCs, postcards, or really any kind of collage, these kind of papers that you can get on Amazon, they're very thin and perfect for collage. Here's this one right here. This one's got different. So if you don't have the what do you call it? Vintage ledgers that are real ledgers, you can get stuff like this that looks like it, right? And they're really inexpensive. But like I said, the paper is very thin, which is great if you like collage. So there's that kind of thing. All right, let me turn down the brightness again. Let's get this down. There we go. All right. They hold on to the whole journey. Yes. Again, now this is, you know, especially true before a lot of I don't know what they do now, if they still require you to send in, probably if it's a journal or a whole book, they probably want the book so they can photograph what they want out of it, rather than hoping that you're going to send in a quality digital. Now, if they do take digital, I can guarantee you they're not going to take crap photos from you of your stuff. If you can't take a high quality digital photo, then you're not going to get in the magazine. But I'm still thinking they probably want the original stuff. I don't know, but yeah, they'd have it for at least 9 months, probably cat based. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and there's all kinds of ideas too from the museums and libraries. Even if you don't do any kind of digi downloads or printing out anything, you know, you can still get ideas and write them down. You know, even if, let's just say you go to the Met, or like Arlene goes, and you go there and you can go to different time periods, exhibitions, displays, and go to that section and you go through, let's say, I think Arlene mentioned the Mayans. You go to that exhibition or that section, and you're going to have hundreds of pictures of Mayan art, Mayan everything. Well, even if you didn't download anything, you know, you could write down where you found something cool. Oh, I got this. If I want anything Mayan ever, I'll go to the Met, you know, that kind of thing. So keep notes. You got to keep a sketchbook, a notebook, a composition book, you know, a Midori, or the little thin, you know, the Midori size note fillers, you know, post it, something. You got to write stuff down. I'm telling you, if you write stuff down, even for 6 months, I challenge y'all. I'm going to challenge y'all. Write down every idea you can think of throughout 6 months. And you know, you might spend half a day just sitting there and writing down ideas in a composition. Get a composition book. They're $1. and write down every idea you can think of or that you might ever want to do. You could probably fill a composition book in a day. But if you don't, keep on, maybe write as much as you can in one day in one book, and then continue it into a second composition book throughout 6 months, and just write down every idea that comes to you. Write down every idea that comes to you for some kind of project. You don't have to do the project right then. You may never do the project, but you'll have the ideas written down. That's why I tell you on Mondays, the Monday morning prompts, write the prompts down. You may not ever use them, unlike Terry Brett, who uses them usually at least once a week. But you'll have them. You'll have them, right? You have to write the ideas down, and you will never run out of ideas. I'm telling you, I promise you, you will never run out of ideas. Keep a comp book, if nothing else. Okay, so here's the Halloween. And again, I liked what drew me to buy this really when I flipped it, other than I know that y'all would like to see it, is the pumpkins. They have and y'all know I do a collage pumpkin every October. Along with my Inktober, I do a collage pumpkin every year. They are all posted on Instagram. You have to go back, every year that I've been posting on Instagram, and you'll see a pumpkin every year. Yes. Oh, thanks, Jane. So here's Queen of Cards, and this is looks at different fabric things. This is different quilts, pumpkin. See, there's all kinds of pumpkin ideas. Gothic graduates, and look, it's just there's just so many fun things you can do. Little ghosties, and all right. So I'm gonna flip and just let y'all see some of the pumpkin. Look. Oh, look at that face. And this one's made out of burlap, but you wouldn't have to make one a physical burlap pumpkin. You could draw, sketch, paint, doodle, something like that. Look how cute they are. And they use buttons for eyes. Here's different, like the little Altoid type, boxes, or maybe it's sardine cans. That's probably the Altoids, but little cans, and they tell you step by step how they did it, what they're doing. Here's some different journals, stitching, mixed media, more jack-o'-lanterns. Oh, oh my gosh, these are so cute. I have to sketch some of these down because they're just so cute. So here's some cookies, and but yeah, all kinds of different pumpkin heads in this one that I said, oh my gosh, some of those are so cute. Some of the pumpkins. Look at the stacked ones there with moss in between. And there's another one. Make dolls. You could make paper dolls with pumpkin heads. Pumpkin head papers, this is a cloth one, but look, can you imagine making this out of collage? Make you some paper dolls out of collage clothing, and drawing and painting the little heads. See, you could do this with paper dolls. Same thing. Look. So there's tons of ideas in here if you like pumpkins. Look at all those pumpkin heads. Here's some little slow stitch things. It looks like little slow stitch pumpkins. They made bracelets out of them. I used to make, and I sent one to Colleen, and I think somebody else too, but I took the cuffs off of old shirts, jean shirts like this, cut the cuffs off, and do slow stitch and embroidery on it, and make cuffs. You could put beads, and I think I put beads on Colleen's. You can sew in beads, do slow stitch, embroidery, and just make a cuff. And it just fits you because it's got a button, and you just button it on. The other thing that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I haven't made these yet, but if somebody wants to do this, I will do a giveaway. And somebody, or if y'all just tell me Hang on, I clicked something. Hang on, I clicked something. I'm not sure what I clicked. Hang on. Okay, I think I'm back. Am I back now? Can you hear me now? I got up and I clicked on something. Am I back? Okay, I'm back. Okay. So, yeah, I got up and I touched my mouse. And Janet would say it's because my mouse is dirty that it clicked me off. No picture? Okay, I see the picture now. Hang on. I don't know what to do. No video, it says, just sound. Well, I see the picture now. All right, let me leave and come back. Let me try. Let me try to leave and come back. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, am I back? Can y'all hear me? Okay. All right, there we go. All right, let me open my camera settings back up. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hang on. All right. Okay. So where I left off, I clicked something. I don't know, and I don't know what I clicked. So, but I got this stuff when I saw this, and I told y'all about the cuffs. I saw this at Hobby Lobby on clearance. It was regularly $5.99 for $1.49, and it's stretch. Look, it's stretch, and it's kind of like it's not really velvet, but it's soft and it's stretch. And I'm thinking, and then I got the thinner stuff too. So there's this thin. Let me put it on something so you can see it. Here we go. There's this thin, and then there's this thick. Okay. And it's stretch. But wouldn't this make cool cuffs that you could put beads and charms on? So let me just show you what I mean. All right, let's cut this off. All right, let's cut it about here. Now it will probably fray, it'll probably ravel. So you'd have to stitch up the edge, you know. But look, all right. So you could make, let's just put it over the cuff for now, just so you can see. And it's stretchy. So you could stretch it, sew it, and put beads and charms, right? And you could make your own cuffs, bracelet cuffs, right? Isn't that cool? Right? Do you like it, Terry? Would you like a piece? I'll send one to me and Terry. They said they like it. Okay. So me, Terry, Brett. I'll send y'all each a little. I'll send y'all each a section of each size. That should be a nice flat envelope there. And then you just have to sew it. And then once it's sewn, it's just, you just put it right on, right? Just like a piece of elastic. What do y'all think? Right? Isn't that an awesome idea? And so you could put buttons, you could put charms, you could sew, embroidery, you could, like colors in there, you could weave. Are y'all writing all these ideas down? Some on my sleeve. You could weave some different fabrics in there, like another little piece of fabric. You could weave it in there. But what do y'all think? An Apple Watch? Well, I don't know that I trust it for my watch band. But, all right. So I'm going to send, let me make a couple things here. Okay. So I'll send one to me and Terry of each size. And now they're going to fray. You're going to have to sew the edge. See, look, it's going to fray. So you'd have to sew that up. So that, and well, when you, if you sew it together at the end, but look how much give it has, right? Devin. Well, I guess you can make headbands. I mean, there's lots of things you can do with it. But anyway, I just thought, they're on clearance, like I said, for $1.49. So I'll send one to me and Terry. All right. It'll fit in an envelope. You have to sew it, and I'll make it all yourself. All right, so that was that. I just wanted to show you all that idea. And I'm sure there's all kinds of stretchy, elasticy stuff in the ribbon department of wherever you live. It doesn't have to be Hobby Lobby, So, all right, so there's that idea. What other thing did I have here written down? Let me just sip of water. Yeah, Tina, charms. That's what I said earlier. Charms, yeah. Anything you can sew. Yeah, you could use no fray, or you just sew it, because you're gonna have to sew it together anyway to make a circle, right? Cuff line. Yeah, and like I said, and it doesn't even have to be a jean shirt, but if you have any kind of old shirts that you like the fabric, jeans just hold up good. Cut the cuff off, and you can do slow stitch, embroidery, charms, whatever you want. And the same, and it's on my Instagram somewhere. I don't know. It's a few years ago where I sent those to Colleen. I think I sent her two. I don't remember. But anyway, I sent some to Colleen where I think I put her name on there. I forget. It's been a while. It's been some years. So, let's see. Something about, did Elisa ask a question I missed? Yeah, y'all got tons of ideas in chat. Y'all go scroll back and write down everybody's ideas. I'm telling y'all. So, oh yeah, something similar to hold your sleeves up. Yeah, it reminds me kind of garters that like you'd see in the old Western movies. The bartender would have garters that hold up the sleeves so that they don't get their sleeves wet, right? It's probably a gambler's hat. I don't know. I just see him in Western movies. Anyway, moving along. Y'all write down each other's ideas. Okay, so here we go. Then here's just some little paper. The little paper folds. You put some bat wings on them. Music paper. Little voodoo dolls. I don't think I'd make those. I'd make these into cute little pumpkin heads or something. But pinup girls, again, here's some different ideas for you could use for paper dolls. You don't have to sew. If you don't sew, make it in paper. Write that down. I don't sew. I'll make it in paper. All right. So anyway, that's the Halloween. So I think that's all the magazines and books that I got. Y'all want to re-see anything? Or let me go run downstairs and see if I can find that, put my hands on that street art book. Hang on. Okay, I pulled two books. Let me take a bite of my strawberry fig Newton. Hang on. Yeah, there's lots of things you can do with jean material for sure. Me. Let's see. Okay. So this style here of color book that I showed earlier from Rizzoli Universe, and I'm going to have to look and see if there's more Rizzoli Universes out there. This was just in my Books a Million, but it reminded me of this book. And then I got another one here to show y'all as well. This was compiled by Dave the Chimp, Street Art Doodle Book, and here's it, 2012. So I don't know if this is still around. Like I said, I got this at my museum, the High Museum. This is the sticker from the High Museum, where when we all went to the museum that day in 2012. I will give you the ISBN, and Kat, you can see if this is even available anymore. 978-185-669-6821. And it's called Outside the Lines, Street Art Doodle Book by Dave the Chimp. And it's a compilation of different street artists in just black and white. So any color you see in here, I've added the color. Let's see. It came out in 2010. So it came out in 2010. Oh, I love my museum store. I will spend as much time in the museum store as I spend in the museum. I'm not kidding. I love my museum store. And then sometimes they'll have one upstairs, like they'll have a special, the store upstairs where whatever exhibit's going on, like let's just say they had a Frida exhibit. Well, they'd have a Frida section set up to sell Frida stuff. And then downstairs they have their main bookstore. I love the museum bookstores. If y'all not been to your museum, you need to go, because I'm guarantee you they're going to have a gift shop museum. Bookstore. Okay, so Kat found it. How much is it, Kat? Did it say how much it was? It is on Amazon. I am surprised. So anyway, because it's out 2010, and it's like almost kind of feels like a newsprint type thing, a little heavier newsprint. You have it, Art House. So anyway, I got Cameron and I each one. And look, they have some pictures here like you can doodle on. I use what? Oh my gosh, someone needs to go snag it. I used one. That means somebody's probably drawn in it. But still, for $2.10. Okay, there you go. But look, see, doesn't this kind of remind you of that style? It just kind of reminds me of something about it. That's why I went downstairs and got this book. And it's all different artists, and it's compiled. And look, you can draw on the photographs. Now, there's been other books that have come out. This is a thick book. There's been other books that have come out on street art graffiti type books, and I have them here somewhere. I have them up here. But anyway, there's photographs like this, and you're supposed to do your graffiti on there, like on that wall, So yeah, but it's all just different line weights. See, just kind of reminded me of that, doesn't it? And of course, when I bought the book, it reminded me of the pop art of the 70s. So Peter Max type, plus the modern day graffiti as well. But anything colored, I put the color on there. Okay, so let's see. The prices go up to over $60. Okay. Look on Thrift Books, or put your name on the Thrift Books waiting list for it if you want one that's not colored in. So I just want to show you. It's very cool. I just really liked it. Cameron and I both got one. And I didn't do a lot in. I think Cameron did more in his than I did. But I like the ideas. It's the ideas in here that I just really love more than the actual coloring. This was way before color. I got this before I did my first color book. I would have got this in 2012, and it came out in 2010. I don't know when the Johanna Basford came out. That was the first adult color book that I remember seeing, was Johanna Basford. And I don't remember when that was. But since then, we've colored all. Right? Isn't it a cool book? So, yeah, I can't flip through every page. Look, it's comics because it's so thick. We'll be here for a while. But I just kind of want to. But look, see how, it's just, I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of the same kind of vibe, if you will. So you see, I colored a little bit in it. But it's just full of ideas. This reminds me of the color book page that I colored. That was in a magazine. It's not exact, but it reminds me of it. Didn't have that skull. Some of this reminds me of Kirby doing all those little creatures, hidden creatures in all his work. But it's a thick book. Very cool. I love this book. And I love that Cameron loved it. And then now this one is, I still see this for sale. I still see this book for sale on clearance all the time. I see this all the time in Books A Million. It might be in Ollie's for just a couple of bucks. So this one might be more. Yeah, it is. This is a big. It's 8. I think it's 8.5 by 11. But look how thick it is. It's a big, thick book, and the paper is good. It's kind of has that texture, velvety kind of feel texture to it. This one I see all the time, and it's paint, draw, print like the great artist. And the ISBN on this one, 978-178-067-2816. And this one has been out for a while too. Let's see. (2014). But I still see this book all the time, like in Barnes and Noble's stack out discount books. But yeah, reprinted in 2015. So I would have got it, late after the date printed. But it's got that same kind of paper. It's almost the exact same paper, actually. Let me compare. Let me compare feels. It feels the same. It feels the exact same paper as in this book. And this one's pretty thick too. It's a little thinner, I think. Maybe just a little bit thinner. But it's the same kind of thing. And I think, okay, bye, Cat and Pace. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all your inspo. Thanks for your inspo. I think this was also in the kids department. Y'all have to look in the kids sections of bookstores. You will find cool stuff like this. I think this was in the kids. I don't remember now because it's been some years. But anyway, It has that paper, and it's all different artists to be inspired by. Okay. Creativity takes courage. Henry Matisse. I'll go ahead and read this. We have a few minutes, so I'll go ahead and read a little bit here. In this book, I've chosen some of my favorite artists who have been an important influence on me, helping me to develop my own style over the years. By exploring their techniques, I began to understand the essence of their work and how they see the world around them. Every artist learns by looking at the work created by others and then picks up bits of that and makes their own art in their own way. Through the artist in this book, you will discover new working methods and new ways of exploring image make. You will, let me read that sentence again. Through the artist in this book, you will discover new working methods and new ways of exploring image making. It may be something as simple as using scissors rather than a pencil, or being fascinated by a new shape or a playful exercise to take your imagination somewhere unfamiliar. I hope you enjoy learning from these artists as much as I have, both over the years and in the making of this book. Marion Duchars. Duchars? Dinshars? Okay. Art materials. And again, it has that thick newsprint feel to it. Bye, Arlene. Thanks, everybody that's coming and going. I appreciate you being here. Miro, Jean Miro. I don't know. I can't do the accents, guys. Sometimes I can do a southern accent or something, but I'm not real good at like French accents. So, anyway, so it gives a little history of the artist, and then gives some kind of samples of how he worked, his automatic drawing, different tips and things that, here's close your eyes and make one, practice automatic drawing, experiment with mark making, paint a wet line, crayon or soft pencil, solid or hard edge, watery and transparent. So even if you don't do it, and a lot of these kind of technique books where they give you tips and techniques, I don't do them in the books themselves. Like, what do you call it? Like, well, Rectus Journal might be a little different, but what's her name that did all the Rectus Journal? She has I gave all my books to Cameron, all her whole 10 different books that she's put out. I gave them all to Cameron, so I can't even pull one up here to show you. I don't think I even have any of them anymore. But those kind of books where you are to, do something in the book, a step by step, something like this, I don't do them in the book. I do them in my sketchbooks. So if I try something like, I want to try that technique, it will go in something like this. It'll go in like here. It'll go in something like this. Rather than doing it in the actual book. Carrie Smith. Thank you, Janet. Carrie Smith has tons of books. Yeah, and the 365 ones as well, Elisa. I think I've got 5 of the 365 books, 4 or 5 of them, and I don't work in them. Janet worked in hers. She got bold and worked in one of hers one year, but I work in my sketchbooks. Yeah, he is, Alan. He doesn't have a lot of time, though. He works hard out at Yellowstone, so. So anyway, here we go. Pencil lines. Press down softly, press down hard. Again, I think she said she made this for her niece or nephew. So anyway, but you can still get so many ideas out of the simple things. But you have to try to do. You have to do it. You have to do it. You work in yours, Terry. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, Cameron worked in all. I gave them all to him. There's all kinds of Carrie Smith books out there. And others like her. There's other books like hers that are out there that you work in. Press down, sorry, press down hard. Fast line, slow line. Then they give you a box to actually do it in. All right, here we go. And then once you've experimented with the previous, then you do these different exercises. Textures. Again, this is all from Miro. And I've actually seen this in the museum. And he has He's got some mobiles. He's got some mobiles. Hanging things. Uh, uh, so anyway, they give a little write up of the artist and then some of the ideas, the techniques and the materials that they've used. uh, I know. Well, Lisa, this one's probably still. I see this. I still see this book in Barnes and Noble. Uh, but anyway, cut out circle squares and triangles, different sheets to work on. See, they want you to cut these up. I'm not cutting these up. Make your own simple patterns inside the square using white paint or a gel pen. And then here's some different, like almost like hieroglyphs. If you've never gone to a hieroglyphs wet place, a museum, or some place where they show all the different hieroglyphs, or I mean, I've got books and books on hieroglyphs and tribal symbols and all that, but try to draw some in different colors. Like if you just took this one little horse or deer or ox or whatever and try to do them in different colors. Thanks to Kat just put a link to Carrie Smith's books. And you'll this is just with simple triangles. This is all the things that they've done with just triangles and adding little arms and legs. See? Okay. But take an inspiration from the artist. And then, working out different ideas from that artist. So it's very cool. It's a very cool book. Cut up circles, cut up, Of course, y'all know I love me some Dali. Kavinsky. Matisse. I bought a couple of books on Matisse when I wanted to do some more. And again, go on Pinterest. Don't have to buy a book, but y'all know I love me some books. But I got a couple of Matisse's books because I wanted to see what kind of shapes he used when he started doing cutouts. Although you go on Pinterest and look up Matisse type cutouts, and you'll find tons of stuff. I'm telling you, that's another place that's a deep dive into ideas is Pinterest. And you can make by looking at some of these, like, let me see what I put. Let me get my little bag I had out last week for making your own things to print with. Print. Got a whole bag of them here. This is just with the kids' foam. And you can make your own stamps with kids' foam. I didn't invent that, people. It's been around forever. And do it on your jelly plate. Anyway, Matisse. Well, thanks, Devin. I try. I want y'all to write. That's right. That's my thing. My thing is encouraging, inspiring ideas. That's, if I don't do anything else, that's what I want to do for you guys. But you have to write it down. You gotta, because you're not going to remember everything. You will not remember everything. I've been doing this for 15 years, 10 years on YouTube, and 11 years on YouTube and 4 years on Ustream. So, I have to write my ideas down. Here we go. Arlene's already left. She was talking about Mayan glyphs. Here's some Mexican glyphs. And look at look, they give you all the little places to do the glyph making. which you can do this yourself, and draw all your glyphs in there. Stencils. But isn't this cool? Andy Warhol. I have well, I can't get it down right now. Cameron, this is the kind of, I'll take a picture. This is the kind of stuff Cameron gets me for Christmas and birthday. Hang on. I love him. Let me get a picture. Hang on, let me get over there. So I do have one wall where I have things, just all kinds of things hanging up there. Let me crop it down a little here. So, so here's a couple things. Oh, there's my Xandra. There's my Xandra. There's my Xandra steampunk cat. She sent me some years ago. That's up there. Cameron sent me an Andy Warhol banana, or gave me rather. And this thing is it's big. It's a big banana. And he gave me the soup. Let's see. Let me try to get the light back. The soup cans. He gave me vintage crayons. I've had a few people give me vintage crayons. So I have them hanging up. This is just a little section of the wall. But, like, my Nana would love an Andy Warhol banana for her birthday. I did, and I do. And it's just so cute. He's so cute. Anyway, ink blotting, black line, translucent colors. So you can do a little, let me see here. Let me get a piece of something here. Well, here's some. Oh, no, that's my samples. Those are my colors. Those are the ink cup pads that I did for my Simon Hurley. I want to keep my Simon Hurley swatches. But you can take, well, if I do this, I'll have to let it dry for a second. Let me just take a Simon Hurley. No, okay. Well, it's water. It's a water based. But anyway, now let's go ahead and do this. Just to show y'all what I'm talking about here. You can take and you can put down some watercolor. Now I have to let this dry before you go in there with the pen. But you see how, look at that. See how the pen is on top of the, see how it's run out the edge there? So I'll set this aside for a minute, let it dry, because I can't take a pen to this now. It'll just ruin a pen. But then you can go over this. It looks almost like a frog. Let me dry it. Hang on, that's bugging me. I gotta dry it now. Slap and smush, yes. Smack and dragon. Hopefully that's dry enough. But this is what inspired me to show you all this. So then you can take, and you can make this look like anything you want, I just kind of saw some kind of a frog or some kind of, and then you can add detail to it too. You can add, you can add shading and, dots. Maybe his other foot's back there. You can do scribbles for shading. Give them some toenails, claws, whatever. So just with a smush of something, You could do that. Okay. Back to the book. Yes, it's a cousin to Smack and Dragon, Devin. So here's different multiples. Y'all, what you call it? Warhol did a lot of that multiples. Hannah Hawk is one of the she's way back in the collage days. And does it have a date for her? I'm not sure. No, Hannah, but let me look her up for y'all because she's very interesting. If y'all want to look up like collage artist and it may be not pronounced Hawk, it might be Hoch, Hannah Hoch. She was from 1889, was born. She died in 1978, but she did a lot of collage stuff. Let's see. Let me do some images here. Hang on. But you can look her up. You'll see all kinds of stuff. But she did all this stuff way back in the day. So, photo montage, how to cut and glue. Again, some of it's very basic that for all of us that have been around the art block, mixed media art block a while, but still get lots of very. I have a book about him that's very. I showed it to you. It's very old. I said that book. It was written by what's the I'll have to go get it for y'all because I can't think of it right now. But it's that book sent me back $100. His biography. Foam printing. Okay, here we go with the can do this with kids foam. See, look, you can dig into it. Let me see if I have a piece of foam under here handy. Ah, I do. What? Let's see here. What should we dig in with? Do I want to stick like this, or do I want one of the? Let's see. One of the. What are those things called? These embossing tools. The embossing thing, yeah. So you can do the embossing tool. And then when you stamp that, that'll be a negative space. I picked orange wasn't the best camera color, but you can see you can just depress it like, with a embossing tool or, a stick, which is even sharper. So you can get smaller lines like this. And then when you go to, ink this up and stamp it, you're going to have this. And then if you go the extra mile and you take this and you've embossed it like this, and then you take your image that you've embossed and make a shape out of it, then when you ink this, should we ink it? Let's put a little bit more in there. All right, let's take our Simon Hurley here. I wasn't very careful with that, but you'll get the idea. You made your own little globe. Let me do a good one here. I'm making this is water-based, so it'll wash off easy off your hands, but see, it comes right off your hands because it's a water-based. Oh, and I still didn't do it very good. See, so you can make your own Make your own stamps with just the kids' foam or texture images, if you will, and shapes. Just want to clean this up so I don't throw my arm in there. Okay. Okay, another, hang on, more big. Simon Hurley, those are brand new stamp pads and they're juicy. So easy to make a mess. Let's see. Hello, Carol. Good to see you. It's been a while. All right, stick this back up under here. All right, so let's keep rolling here. Everybody knows the what's the girl golden, oh, I forget her name. The painting and the kiss. The kiss is another famous one. I have a awesome book by David Hockney. I've shown it to y'all before, where he did. I could go run get it. It's amazing. He did a book, and it's another one of my expensive books, but it was worth it. He did a book on the history of the development of perspective and how artists all of a sudden, it seemed like, he said, went from flat paintings that looked flat to a perspective that was so real, like Vermeer, how Vermeer looks so real and so in perspective. And he talks about the history of that. And he did. Let me go. I got a minute. I'm going to see if I can pick that book off my shelf. Hang on. Okay, I can't find the Hockney book. I must have pulled it, and it's probably in a stack. I'll have to find it for y'all later. But it's a huge book, it's a coffee table size book, and it's just amazing. For he studied, he wanted to see how that happened, how it went from everybody painting so flat and to such the realism that it went to, in the Renaissance. And so he cut out and printed and made his own wall. He did a huge wall in his studio, step by step, and he narrowed it down to when it started to happen. And he thinks it became when artists discovered, I'm out of breath, sorry, I was trying to hurry and I was running bookshelf. Anyway, the camera obscura, where you could look through the device and be able to project the image down on your paper. Do y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that? The camera obscura, or they might have even been called something else. They even do it now. They sell them on Amazon. I've seen them where you can look in a little mirror thing and it reflects and it projects. If y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, you know me. Yes, Devin said. Okay. Well, he said it was when artists discovered how to do that, that they learned about perspective and realism. And I'm simplifying it, guys. I'm way simplifying it. The book's huge. That's why I can't even believe I can't find that book on my shelf. But anyway, he talked about that and how that influenced him, and that they didn't talk about it. I mean, historians really don't talk about that. And he brought it all out. This book's about 20, he did a second publishing 20 years ago, and he republished it with more information. I'll have to find it. Let me write that down. Find Hockney book. And I've posted it. I've posted that book in my about books. I have not posted a book today. I should go back and find it again and repost that, because it's really a great book. So anyway, they did, Barbara? Okay. Barbara said that Penn and Teller did a documentary on this. Oh my gosh. I bet that's interesting. I've not seen that documentary. Oh, Penn and Teller. Okay. Well, anyway, I did find this book, though. This is the other one. James Michener, the historian writer. I could not think of his name 5 minutes ago, but he's the one that put this together. And it's like the first manga book. And it came in a sleeve, came in this cardboard sleeve. And let me tell you what year it came out here. 1958. First came out in 1958 in Japan, and then printed in, I guess, in the U.S., 1962. And it's an amazing book. I mean, it's just all the information and the history. It's kind of like the history of manga, really. And it's an amazing, and it's like on different papers, and they've not been cut. I can't even get there. See, look, the book's not been cut. So it's a beautiful, stunning book. And it goes through all the different, different, here, let me get one here. So I'm sure it has a table of contents. Maybe not. Yeah. People, fauna, flora, landscapes, the past, the grotesque, the technical, the architecture, and the forerunners. And again, this was put out in 50 something, and then reprinted in this book in 1962. And James Michener, y'all know, it's just an amazing book. But I think I paid $100 for it with the sleeve, because I think it's hard to find it in the sleeve. But I'll have to try to find that David Hockney book, because I know. Let me see. One other place I could look here. Oh, I can't show you the inside, though. That's the thing. If I can find it for you on my book post, in my post tab. Remember, every week, in the post tab under my YouTube channel. No, it's not here. You have to go back to my main channel, and you'll see videos, lives, shorts, posts. Used to be called community. Now community is just over on mobile, on phones. But it's called posts now. And under posts, every week I post a book or two. And that David Hockney book I did post some time ago, maybe a year ago. I'm not sure. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, I guess I'm going to head on out. It's about 11:30, and I'm so glad y'all were here. Maybe I'll put together some collage thought or something for Wednesday. We'll see. But I did send Terry and me some of the stretchy cuff stuff. Cuff stuff. I put myself in the wingnut book. All right, guys, don't forget Janet comes on at 1 Eastern, and we will see y'all there. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day. Thanks for being here and watching the book and color book haul, and my current color books in progress. Okay, guys, bye.